When did you go from wanting to write a book to specifically sitting down and committing to writing, and also when did you decide you wanted to write specifically for children?
Um, Really, it was like a lightning bolt moment, really. I just said to myself, seriously, it was that one day, like I said, I was like, I want to write a book. And if not now, when? And I, that very day, got a journal out and started outlining what this book would be. And I guess it was a gradual process as I read on a daily basis with my kids. And at bedtime, we'd read little stories. And I used to make up stories for them too, actually. And with my nieces and nephews, like anytime we would have gatherings, I would be making up crazy stories for them. But it was like that somehow that day, it might have been around a New Year's time or something. And I was like thinking up my resolutions. And I told my husband, I said, I want to write a book and I'm going to write a book. And I'm like, yeah, she can be Sophie Washington. She can do this, she can do that. And I kind of put what she would do in a few books and kind of outline that day. And then I just started writing it obsessively. So my kids were younger then, and I would write whenever I would be waiting for them at different events and things. I would have if I didn't have my laptop, I'd have notebooks and just be writing. I remember my daughter was playing softball and I'd be in the stands at a practice, not her game. I was watching the game, but I would be writing. And I was like obsessed with finishing that book. And so it took me maybe 6-7 months. These books are all 100-page books, about 100-page long. And so maybe 25,000, 30,000 words. So I finished that one and, had it edited, and I had to get my own illustrator and things like that. But, so when I did that, then I was working with the librarian and did a few little school visits and things. And then I got the idea for The Snitch, which is the second book in the series about Sophie being bullied. And she and her friends were more afraid of being called tattletales by the other children than telling on the snitch. And so I wrote that book and went on. It just kind of, then once I started creating this world and came up with these characters, they just keep coming to me, these different ideas of what they could get up to. And also it came because as a mother, I was very involved with what was going on with my children and their friends. And I also was a Sunday school teacher at my church. So I was around children all the time. And I would see the things they would do, and that would inspire me to come up with different scenarios for the characters. And generally I would write early in the mornings. I would get up like 5 in the morning so that I would make sure that I would have that time, 5:30 or 6 a.m. So I'd have the concentrated time each day. And so that's what happened. Then once I had the first 2 books done, it wasn't as difficult for me to complete these other books. That's why there's so many, I guess, in the series, because I've already created my world and the characters. And each book, I generally will introduce 1 or 2 new characters. So those are the new ones. I have to figure out what they're going to be like and what they're going to do. But each one, you have your main Sophie, her best friend, Chloe, and there's a cast of characters, and I know what they're going to do and how they behave.
So how far ahead do you plan going in? You knew there were going to be at least more than one book with Sophie Washington. And by the way, how did you decide Sophie Washington was to be the name of your heroine?
Actually, my daughter's name is Sophia, and Sophie, my people used to call her Sophie all the time, and I'd get mad. And I said, why are they calling you that? Why are you letting them call you Sophie? Because she had gone to a new school and everyone was calling her Sophie, and we didn't call her that at home. And I said, okay, we'll just name her Sophie. And I just picked Washington as a common name. And so that's how we came up with that. But
that's fantastic. So you knew the name going in, and you knew that there were going to be more than. Did you have an idea for how many books there were going to be?
No, I really didn't have any idea. And I only had the spelling bee, then the snitch, and things you didn't know about Sophie. I kind of knew that. And The Gamer is the third book. Her little brother Cole is in all the books, and he plays video games all the time. And so I knew I wanted a book about, it kind of focuses on him and talks about setting limits with playing video games. And then the next book was Hurricane, which that was an inspiration from Hurricane Harvey, because I had planned on writing one. Mission Costa Rica is the sixth book. That's when she goes on a mission trip to Costa Rica. When Hurricane Harvey came, that inspired me to write that based on my own experiences.